You're welcome to Penrite Communications as we present to you Online Teaching and Learning Workshop, which is a one-week online workshop for educator trainers. The course objectives. The first objective is to train experienced teachers and trainers in techniques and approaches to online tutoring, and to provide them with the skills required to become online tutors. And secondly, to raise awareness about opportunities for skill transfer and the need to acquire new skills in online tutoring as opposed to face-to-face tutoring. And finally, to train a new generation of online teachers in Nigeria, some of whom will form a part of our new innovation in the Penrite Academy. This is the first module. The topic for Module 1 is Introduction to Online Teaching and Learning. And our focus here will be to explore the experience of online teaching and learning and how it has changed the role of the educators over the years. Online learning is the newest and the most popular form of distance education today, as we all know. And within the past decade, it has had an effect and a major impact on education, and the trend is only increasing because many more changes are going to come up. Advancement in technology, the speed and dynamism of knowledge growth, coupled with the limitless power of the internet, has made online teaching and learning an adorable bride of this age. Everybody likes it, but not everybody knows how to go about it. So, the first question is, what is online learning? Online learning is education that takes place over the internet. It is often referred to as e-learning, among other terms. However, online learning is just one term of distance learning, the umbrella term for any learning that takes place across distance and not in the traditional classroom. So what we are saying here in essence is that when we are talking about online learning, we are talking about learning that takes place, where the learners and the teacher are not necessarily gathered together in the same classroom. So you teach a variety of students, and they cut across all races, all nations, country, without any border. And they still get the same knowledge that will impact to them as it will be if. Alright, types of online learning. Distance learning has a long history, and there are several types available today, which includes correspondence courses, which are conducted through regular mails with little interaction. So in this kind of course, you receive an email containing all the course content, you read through it, and then you are able to answer questions based on the course content and forward it as a reply to your mail. Then telecourses. This is where content is delivered via radio or television broadcast. But in this kind of in this kind of distance learning, you don't have the opportunity to interact, and you do not have the opportunity to answer questions or to participate. You only listen to content, and then you probably, even if you are going to participate at all, you may be asked to forward your response through a particular medium. Then CD-ROM courses. This is where students interact with static computer content. You get a CD containing the courses, and you listen to them, or you watch them, or you view them as slide presentations. But in this case too, you do not have the opportunity to interact. You cannot ask questions or answer questions. In online learning, this is internet-based courses which are offered either synchronously or asynchronously, or teaching done via the internet. It's what we call online learning. Then when we talk about synchronously means you have to participate. You have to participate. You'll be live online when the course is going on. Then asynchronously means you don't have to be present when the course is going on, but you can log in and still participate actively in the course. The mobile learning, this is the kind of learning, distance learning that takes place by means of devices such as a cellular phone, PDAs, and digital audio players and so on. You listen to them on your mobile, just like the telecourses. In this case, the difference is that you may not be able to, communicate or participate in the process. You just listen to it on your mobile, or you watch it on your mobile, or open source, CMS software, which include ETHUSND, ethusproject.org. That's where you can find it. Then the other one is Moodoo, and the website has stated there if you visit them. Moodoo is very popular and has been in use for quite some time. And another one is Angel, angellearning.com. So if you visit any of these websites, you'll be able to learn a bit more about this learning management systems, or course management system, content management system, as some people will also call it. So what are the tools for CMS or LMS? The first thing we look out for in a CMS or LMS is for does it have schedule, which is for posting and viewing deadlines and events? That is one feature that you can find in the CMS or LMS. Then another feature that you can find is announcements for posting current information to all students. Then syllabus for creating and posting the course syllabus. Modules for publishing and viewing course content in sessions. Assignment for posting, submitting, and grading student work. Discussion board for asynchronous discussion, group work, and collaboration, just like the type that we are doing here. Private messages for private communication between students and instructors. And then chat for real-time synchronous conversation in written form. If it is a chat means you are going to be interacting, you are going to be there as at the time when the course is being taken, and you are going to contribute as the course is going on. But if it is asynchronous, you might not be there, but you will still have the content and all the contributions that other people might have made. So you read through them and you still be able to add your own contribution. That is the difference between chat and then discussion board. Then tests and quizzes. That's another feature that you find on CMS or LMS, which is for authoring and administering tests, exam, quizzes, surveys, and so on. Then gradebook is the one that is the feature that is used for posting and managing student grades. So there are so many approaches to online learning. Two approaches to online learning that have emerged that are most popular are the ones I mentioned a few minutes ago: synchronous and asynchronous learning. So let's look at synchronous learning in some more details. Synchronous learning is instruction and collaboration in real time via the internet. It typically involves tools such as live chat, audio and video conferencing, data and application sharing, shared whiteboard, virtual hand raising, joint viewing of multimedia presentation, and online slideshow. So these are the different ways through which synchronous learning can take place. And if you look at them all, you will notice that you have to be actively involved. If it's a live chat, you will be responding to other people's conversation. You will join in the conversation and you'll be contributing your own quota to the discussion. If it is audio or video conferencing, your contribution is also key, very important. If it is data and application sharing, as you are receiving data from other people, you will also be expected to send your own data. Then if it's a shared whiteboard, the whiteboard that is shared by many people from different sources, as one person is making input, you will also be expected to give a response from your own end. Then there is virtual hand raising. That is where everybody will, or whoever is to respond to a particular point or discussion, or answer a question, for instance, or to ask a question, will have to raise their hand. So the webcam on their laptop captures the hand that is raised, and it reflects on the other end. So we'll be able to see the person that is signifying for attention, the person that is raising hand, virtual hand raising. And then it's also, there are devices where you just press a button and then it shows at the other end like a hand raised, so that we'll know that, okay, this particular person is calling for attention and we have to give him attention. Maybe the person wants to ask a question or answer a question. Then joint viewing of multimedia presentation and online slideshow. So this is a multimedia presentation that has been prepared like a slide, and then it is played for the viewing of participants. So everybody will view it at the same time. We are going to have something like that within this 1 week of our workshop, where a slide presentation will be presented for everybody to view at the same time, and then we will now begin to discuss the content. Then the second one is asynchronous learning method, which use the time delay capability of the internet. It typically involves tools such as email, threaded discussion, news group and bulletin board, file attachment. You will see that there are some similarities between synchronous and asynchronous. Like the threaded discussion now, in synchronous, you have to be there live participating, but this asynchronous method is threaded. You send in your own contribution when you are ready, whenever you log in, and you will still be able to see the contributions of other people. Then news group and bulletin board. Yes, we have a bulletin board here that we're going to use within this 1 week of our workshop. The bulletin board is where everybody can contribute. It could be used synchronously and also used asynchronously. If it is used synchronously, everybody will have to be online at the same time contributing. But if it is used asynchronously, it means if you are not online when it is going on, anytime you log in, you still be able to see the discussion of other people and add or contribute your own to it. So we are going to use both the synchronous and the asynchronous method within this 1 week. But most importantly, we will make it more of as asynchronous than synchronous. Those who are available at the time when the courses will be going on, they can contribute synchronously. But those who are not available can do their own contribution asynchronously. So in asynchronous method, you have file attachments that you can view, open it, view it, work on it, and then forward it back as an attachment to your post or to your mail. So asynchronous courses are still instructor facilitated, but are not conducted in real time, which means that students and teachers can engage in course-related activity at their convenience rather than during specifically coordinated class sessions. So in asynchronous courses, learning does not need to be scheduled in the same way as synchronous learning, allowing students and instruction the benefit of anytime, anywhere learning. So a new paradigm for teaching and learning has evolved. Online learning is catalyzing a pedagogical shift in how we teach and learn. We all will agree that things are changing drastically. There is a shift away from the top-down lecturing and passive student to a more interactive, collaborative approach in which student and instructor co-create the learning process. The instructor's role is changing from the sage on the stage to the guide on the side. So you don't have to be the person that will stand in front of the classroom now and do all the talking and do all the teaching and impacts all the knowledge. You will be cheating your students, because if you allow them to participate, you as a teacher can also learn from them. So instead of being the sage on the stage, these days, teachers should rather be the guide on the side. Just stay by the side and guide them as they are involved in their own learning. So, online learning theories that support online teaching. If you look at constructivism, constructionism, and collaboration, these are age-long online theories that are being. Even before the issue of online teaching and learning came up, learning theory, teaching theory, learning theory has been, and they are not different from the way they have been. The only difference is that the platform through which this learning and teaching and learning takes place. Let's look first at constructivism theory as it relates to online learning. This point of view maintains that people actively construct new knowledge as they interact with their environment. This is a student-centered approach in which students co-create their learning experience. This approach empowers students as active learners instead of just passive recipients, absorbing information and reproducing it for standardized tests. So the constructivism theory was derived from the work of the Swiss philosopher Jean Piaget, and it emphasizes that the learner is a unique individual. And two, the relevance of the learner's background and culture is very important for learning to take place. For you to be able to teach someone and the person to learn, you must take into consideration the background and the culture where the person is coming from. Then the increased responsibility for learning belongs to the student. You can take a horse to the stream, as the saying goes, but you cannot force the horse to drink water. So the responsibility for learning actually belongs to the student. It is when they are ready to learn, when they are prepared to learn, that is when learning can actually take place. And then the theory also states that motivation for learning comes from successful completion of challenging tasks. If you get them involved in the process of learning and they participate actively, they will be motivated after successfully completing a challenging task. They will be happy that, yes, I was a part of it, I did this, I did that. So what they did in the process, they will not forget. Then instructors as facilitators, helping learners develop their own understanding of content. So you can see that instructors are facilitators, helping learners develop their own understanding of content. So you just assist them to develop their own understanding, the best way they can understand it. So they choose their style, the style of reading, the style of understanding, or how they want to acquire the knowledge is mostly dependent on them. Learning in constructivism theory is an active social process. Active social process, which involves a lot of practical things that they see around them, and things that they are involved in on a day-to-day basis. And then the dynamic interaction between task, instructor, and learner is synergy. We come together, we harmonize our effort and style together to be able to allow learning to take place. Then the second one is constructionism. The other one was constructivism. This one is constructionism. The constructionism theory has said that learning is particularly effective when constructing something for others to experience. This can be anything from a spoken sentence or an internet posting to more complex things like a painting or a presentation. For example, you might read this page several times and still forget it by tomorrow. But if you are asked to explain this idea to someone else in your own words, or produce a slideshow that explains this concept, you will gain a deeper understanding that is more integrated into your own ideas. So that is the constructionism theory. In a bid to help others to learn, you prepare it and you present it to them. You that prepared and presented it will not forget easily. So it's the same thing with the students. If they are involved and they are able to prepare some learning materials on their own and now present it to others, they will learn from it, and then it will stick better and longer, for longer. The third one is the collaboration theory. As an instructor, you focus on the experiences that will best generate learning from the learner's point of view. Rather than just publishing and assessing the information you think they need to know, each participant in a course can and should be a teacher as well as a learner. Your job changes from being the sole source of knowledge to being a guide and role model. So you connect with students in ways that address their own learning needs by moderating discussions and activities in a way that collectively leads students toward the larger learning goals of the class. So you allow them the freedom to express themselves, and as they're expressing themselves, you moderate here and there, you correct them here and there, and they get better and better by the day. That is the power of collaboration. As they're learning from others, others will be learning from them. You will be like the referee who will moderate the discussion process or the learning process. What are the benefits of online teaching and learning, therefore? Online distance learning meets the needs of an ever-growing population of students who cannot or prefer not to participate in traditional classroom setting or an extended learning medium for regular school students. If you look at this, there are so many people today who have made it in life, or who, for one reason or the other, were not able to attend traditional school when they were supposed to. During their school age, probably because of financial constraints and so many other problems, they were not able to finish school. But today, by God's grace, they have moved on through life and they have become successful, but they are still missing this education, and they still want to have it, especially in our nation where certification is so important. Some people still want to acquire the certificate, even if they don't need it. So this learner includes those unable to attend traditional classes, who cannot find a particular class at their chosen institution probably, or who live in remote location, places that are very far, and it will be too stressful for them to travel for a very long distance simply because they want to attend classes. Or people who work full time and cannot leave their work and say they want to go to school. So such people can only study at work or after work. And those who people simply prefer to learn independently. Some prefer to just stay in their houses and take up a course online and sit down in the comfort and safety of their homes, learn and get certified. So further benefits of online teaching and learning. The minimum requirement for students to participate in an online course is access to a computer, the internet, and the motivation to succeed in a non-traditional classroom. That's all that is required. It's so easy. No uniform, no payments of different kind of fees, and so on. So online courses provide an excellent method of course delivery, unbound by time or location, allowing for accessibility to instruction at any time from anywhere. You can study anywhere. You can learn anywhere. You can participate in a course from anywhere in the world, provided you have a computer and you have internet access. So learners find the online environment a convenient way to fit education into their busy lives. And the ability to access a course from any computer with internet access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is a tremendous incentive for many of today's students. Advantages of online teaching and learning. Number one is convenience. 24/7 access from any online computer. Accommodated busy schedules, no commuting, no searching for parking space, no traffic jam, and so on. Enhanced learning. Research shows increased depth of understanding and retention of course content, more meaningful discussions, emphasis on writing skill, technology skill, and life skill like time management, independence, and self-discipline. To further explain this, increased depth of understanding and retention of course content. Because you have the time on your own to actually read through the course content and digest it properly, and prepare your mind that you are going to participate in the discussion afterwards, it makes you have a deeper understanding of the content, and it makes you be able to retain more of the course content in preparation for the discussion. And then when the discussion now comes, it becomes more meaningful because everybody is really prepared. They have had time to prepare beforehand before the discussion takes place. Then there is emphasis on writing skill because there is no way you are going to post your contributions without typing them. So typing skill is enhanced, writing skill is enhanced. Then technology skill, because of the platform you are going to use, you are going to learn how to use the platform and manipulate so many other things. Take for instance, text input page. You do highlighting, you do italicizing, you do bolding, you do different kind of text formatting skill that you have to learn. And this differ from platform to platform. Some platforms have less, some have more. So, and as you are using this medium, you learn more. Then independence. You are independent, you are on your own, nobody is looking at you, whether you are going to say something that is not correct, and they are now going to look at you and you become embarrassed. No, that is not the case. You are independent, you are on your own. So your contribution will go unhindered, and then it does not affect you in any way, whether you are right or wrong. If you are wrong, you learn from the response of others, and you are able to correct yourself. And then self-discipline in terms of time management. When it is time to read, you don't wait for anybody to tell you to go and read. You know that you have to go and read because you are preparing for a discussion or for a text or for an exam, or you want to take a course. So you manage your own time with discipline. Then leveling of the playing ground. The playing field is level. Students can take more time to think and reflect before communicating. So everybody is equal on the platform. Shy students tend to thrive online due to anonymity of the online environment, like I was saying earlier. That you don't need to be embarrassed or be ashamed to contribute because nobody is seeing you, nobody is looking at you. It's only your contribution that they can see. Then interaction. Increase student to teacher and student to student interaction and discussion. A more student-centered learning environment. Less passive listening and more active learning. So it's not a rowdy class where 2 or 3 students are talking at the same time. Everybody is learning at their own pace. They listen more, they learn more, passively listening and more actively learning, both from others and from the facilitator. So a greater sense of connectedness and synergy. They are able to connect together freely, discuss freely, and everybody will learn. So teaching, innovative teaching. Student-centered approaches increase variety and creativity of learning activities. Address different learning styles. Changes and improvement can translate to on-ground courses as well. So let me explain that. Innovative teaching. Teaching on platforms like this will take a completely different dimension. It's more student-centered because everything you are doing, your focus is on how your students are going to understand and learn from it. Then increase variety and creativity of learning activities. Learning activities will increase. Different styles will be used. And then creativity of this learning activity in itself is awesome. You come across different styles of, it addresses different learning styles. And then changes and improvement that can translate to on-ground courses will take place in the process. So you teach with innovation. It doesn't have to be the same style all over. And then taking into consideration the different learning styles of your student, you'll be able to design with creativity learning activities that will be universal. Then improve the administration. Time to examine student work more thoroughly, because you take your time to read through everybody's posts, everybody's contribution. And then the ability to document and record online interactions. Everything is there, is saved there. If it is not deleted, in fact, the platform can be designed in such a way that students cannot delete their own posting. So when you have all of that, you'll be able to go through them over and over again and document the online record of interaction. And then you have the ability to manage grading online. Some platforms have a grading system that will do automatic grading for your students' questions. Then savings. It accommodates more students and it increases student satisfaction, higher retention, and fewer repeats. So it saves you money, saves the students money. You don't have to gather everybody together in the same place. And then the students also, they learn at their own pace and they have higher retention. And in the cases of repeating a class, it's very, very rare. Very, very rare. Maximize physical resources. Yeah, it lessens demand on limited campus infrastructure. For instance, if you have a physical building where you bring your students to teach them, wear and tear of this physical structure over the years will be visible. But in the case of an online course, online teaching and learning, you don't have to think about wear and tear because you're not using a physical structure. It's virtual, it's online. And then decrease congestion on campus parking lot. Yeah, if everybody has to go to the campus to learn, it means those with cars will have to be looking for parking spaces and all of that. So all those stress are taken off you. Then outreach. Give students the options. Give students option of when to learn, how to learn. Then you reach new student market, students that you probably might never have been able to reach. And then you appeal to current students, thus increasing enrollment. So, for instance, an average classroom will take probably between 50 and 100 students, or a bit more than that, depending on the size of the classroom or hall. But in an online classroom, for instance, it could take thousands and thousands of students at the same time without necessarily having any congestion. So you'll be able to reach out to more people, more students. Then income generation. Online teaching is a means of generating extra income. If after this training you are certified, then you'll be able to participate in many more online teaching and learning processes that will earn you money. And even this one that we are doing, at the end of the day, those who are satisfied as good, exceptionally good, are going to have the opportunity to be online tutors in Penrite Academy. And then at the end of the day, there will be any extra income, which be in addition to whatever they have. So to conclude this module, using technology for teaching is a necessary but not sufficient requirement for developing the knowledge and skill needed in this 21st century. It has to be accompanied by curriculum reform, that is the content that is going to be used, and it's by also by changes in teaching method that facilitate the development of skills in a particular subject domain, and by changes in assessment. Obviously, many instructors are successfully working in this way, but there is still a great deal of resistance to such radical change. What we are saying here in essence is that it is a good thing that this type of learning is coming in, but a lot of people are still opposed to it. A lot of people are not buying the idea. They don't see the reason why it should be so. Some are scared that it will take the job of the teachers away. No, it will never take the job of the teachers away, because the teachers are still going to be the one to provide the content that we're talking about and to deliver it. So we continue with this trend, and I believe this will be a very good start for every one of you to learn as much as possible from this workshop, and also participate actively in everything that we do, so that you can maximize your benefit from this workshop. Thank you so much. Questions for interactive session. The instruction here is read through all the questions and prepare your answers in your own word. The questions that will be provided, you read through them, answer them, and save them in MS Word format. You are going to attach them to your posting on Module 1, because the questions are going to be based on Module 1. So you answer them and save them in MS Word format. You are going to attach them to your post when we start discussion on the forum. So what you do is sign in and post it into the online training session forum Module 1 as a reply to the attachment. Wish you the best. And that is the end of Module 1. Thank you.